Peak words. There we go. There's all the people. Lots of people. Hello, lots of people. Oh, this might be probably everybody. A lot better time for all of the Europeans, huh?
Yes.
Hello, everybody.
Hope everybody's excited about the beginning of the season. I've already got all 3 boards made up for today, so I'm good. It's bizarre that I need 3 different boards for 3 different games, but that's how it works when they're that spread out with their start time. What? Now?
Thoughts on the Devils 2-0 season start?
They won the games that you want to win over in Prague, and now they get to work on this side of the pond, and they looked good. Timely goals, good defense, solid goaltending, not really any holes in their game. We'll see how things go when they start playing everybody else.
Merry Hockey Christmas.
Happy Hockey Christmas.
Why is Seattle playing a matinee game on a Tuesday, right? That's exactly what I said. What in the world? It's not an American holiday, right?
It is.
How weird. Who's going to the game? Was Seattle upset when they found out they'd have a daytime game? How many people are at the game? I have so many questions. This is a conversation that we had yesterday.
Yep.
Hey, Shannon and Yvonne, good to see you. What are your thoughts on Connor Geeky's performance in the preseason and making the roster?
Earned him a regular season spot. Geeky was a highly thought of prospect. Highly. He was drafted 12th overall? I think it was 12th overall by the Coyotes. Could have been top 10. Was it 8th? Anyways, yeah, Geeky's going to be a good player for them.
Any word on rescheduling the Saturday's game in Tampa?
I haven't heard anything as of yet. I'm still surprised they're playing in Sunrise today. People are evacuating, and the NHL's putting on a game between Boston and Florida. So at this point in time, from everything I've heard, the game's still going on. So the Tampa game's probably still going on. We'll see.
What are your thoughts on Igor rejecting his contract offer?
Shesterkin knows what he wants. There may be more to it than just the money. He may be looking for trade protection. There may be bonus money that he's disagreeing with. We'll see what that contract ends up looking like once it's signed, and hopefully that happens soon.
Here in Germany, we love the daytime games. More games to watch during reasonable hours. I am all for more daytime games. I wish Vancouver did daytime games on weekends. I don't understand daytime games during the week, though. I don't know how that works.
See, and what makes you happy is then I'm in here watching hockey and not bothering you. So that makes you happy, too.
You're already in here watching hockey.
I totally get it.
Reading all the hockey and all of the hockey.
Yeah, I totally understand.
Okay, I can't.
Hey, kitty.
I can't read. Oh, man, I have fur in my mouth now.
Come here.
She has to rub against my mouth.
Okay,
yeah.
Just
okay.
Settle down. Just settle down. Okay. Personal space, kitty. Personal space.
Do you know who owns the Arizona Coyotes name and logo, etc.?
As far as I know, it still belongs to Morello. He'd have to sell it or have the NHL give him some more money in order to take it back. As far as I know, Morello still has all that.
2 years as a member already. How about that? Perfect way to start the new season. Good luck for your teams and go wild.
Well, she agrees with the go wild aspect. I don't disagree. It'd be nice to see Minnesota win.
Are the super high contracts the reason why tickets cost so much around the league?
Yep. And prices keep going up. Contracts keep going up. The salary cap's going to keep going up. At some point in time, you would think fans won't be able to afford to go to games in such numbers that the cap flattens out, but we haven't reached that point yet.
We have an orange cat named Linguini, and he doesn't understand personal space either, and he's so clumsy. Bear?
There isn't any.
At night, she sleeps on our faces. She frequently lays on my shoulder, in my face.
Yep.
It's all the time. And then she lays on Shannon's chest so he can't move. She's something. Oh, where's Shadow? Is he? Oh, you can see him. There he is, right there.
He's right in the little basket here.
Basket part of the tree.
That's his spot.
My cat loves hockey, follows the puck.
Maple does that every now and then. I just have to watch because she'll knock everything off of the shelf in front of the television, so that's not always fun. It's less cute when she's knocking everything down.
Who's on the defensive core for San Jose? Who are the ones to watch on the defensive core for San Jose? I think
Cece's going to play a larger role on the San Jose blue line, I think, than what he was playing on the Edmonton blue line. That's going to be interesting to watch. He may be overextended a little bit. At the very least, San Jose's blue line is going to be better than the one they had last season. Last season's blue line was that was kind of tough to watch.
How old is Bear? She looks like a big kitty. She's
11. She's a very tiny. She's a tiny cat.
We have 3 tiny cats and 2 big cats.
Yep.
She's pretty middle cat. Azrael and Maple are our tiny tinies. Oh, go Panthers. Show Beantown.
They're overrated. They're playing
overrated
Boston.
Team.
They're playing Boston today. So
just trying
do you want to go up on the tree, sweetie? Maple's sleeping. She won't attack you.
Tim's hockey cards are 10 years old. Thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, they've got that right in the commercials.
I saw that. Anniversary. I got the notification this morning that
Yvonne refuses to get me more hockey cards.
That's whatever.
So, she'll show me like, look at Tim's. They have hockey cards.
Whatever.
But sadly, you're at capacity, so
that's
whatever.
Not what happens.
And then she brings me home a cruller because she knows I don't like crullers.
Cruller.
So they're crullers.
Cruller.
I don't believe in cruelty. So they're crullers.
I do get him Timmy's cards.
She's big on cruelty.
Whatever. Don't listen to him.
So I should call them crullers because they're crueler than the other donuts. Crueler to the husband.
Oh, my jersey. Isn't this one nice? This is my favorite Leafs jersey. I really like this jersey.
I got that one for like $30 because it's a women's jersey.
It is my favorite Leafs jersey. This has been my favorite Leafs jersey for a very long time. I really like it. Thoughts on Canucks opening roster?
I'm optimistic with Vancouver this year. Not even cautiously, just optimistic. I think they've got a good team. The goaltending should be good enough to hold it together until Demko's ready to go. I'm excited to see what this season holds for Vancouver. I'm very hopeful at this point. I think the Pullman trade really just sent that into overdrive. Now they got Brandstrom here in Abbotsford. That's going to be great. Solid team they built in Abbotsford as well.
Crullers are delicious. Agreed. I don't ever get them for Shannon though, because he's lame like that.
Because they're crueler. They're crueler than normal donuts.
I have a lavender London fog today. It's delicious. You guys deserve more hugs for what you both do.
Well, thanks to the pets.
More hugs. Yeah, we get a lot of pet hugs.
Yeah.
What is a cruller? It is a donut made with it's a different kind of dough that has egg in it, kind of like an eclair or a cream puff. It's like that kind of dough. So it's really, really squishy and bubbly and fluffy. It's very different than a yeasty donut.
Makes me sad.
He's just whiny. So there's that. What would you think of a Robertson Johnson Hintz line?
A lot of young talent. Dallas is awash with young talent. The thing is, it feels like they want to pair a veteran with 2 young guys. So they had that with Pavelski. But yeah, I think at this point, some of those young players have enough experience now. They should be good on their own.
Oh, somebody said they've never seen this jersey. Okay, here, got back.
That's the Winter Classic, 2014 Winter Classic.
This is
I think
felt.
I think that's the 2014 Winter Classic.
I really like it. And it's back when Reeboks made the jerseys, so women got nice jerseys.
And I'm wearing the Canucks Heritage jersey. This is my Quinn Hughes. So I have a Quinn Hughes jersey.
Just want to say thanks for keeping me up on all the hockey news, especially as a busy student.
Thank you. Thanks for watching. Otherwise, there wouldn't be much point in me being in here making videos. It'd be kind of weird.
He still would anyways. What team is going to make the biggest surprise this year?
The biggest surprise. I I think New Jersey's for real, and I think there's some doubters out there that are going to be quieted a bit. I think of Ottawa, Detroit, and Buffalo. One of them kind of has to be a big jump this year. They have to have a big jump this year in the standings. Maybe it'll be Ottawa. Maybe it'll be Detroit. It looks like Buffalo's less likely, but there's still 80 games left for Buffalo, so we'll see.
Thoughts on Tampa's opening roster?
Tampa's in pretty good shape. I know the Sergachev trade some saw as a downgrade. I think Mosier's a good blue liner, and I think Geeky's a really good addition as well. Between Geeky being added, Gensel being added to that top line, I think they're going to be a good team this year. I don't know if they're still going to be contenders. I think they can be. I had them in that contender tier. We'll know soon enough whether or not they're still one of the top teams in the league.
Who's winning the Norris this year?
Makar's the odds-on favorite. I'd be kind of surprised if he didn't. Quinn Hughes had a great season last year. I'm a big Quinn Hughes fan, as this jersey would attest. But I still think Makar's the best defenseman in the game, and I think he could very well win it this year.
Any word on Demko and his status?
Nothing on Demko right now. They're trying to progress him to the point where he can return 100%. But with Lankinen and Shilov's in net, and now Patera's down here in Abbey, there's good goaltending depth for the Canucks organization. I think they'll be good.
In an effort to make Yvonne and Shannon feel old. Oh, you don't need to help. One of the musicians you're watching at your concert next week is still a teenager. Do you know that? Oh, Alejandra from
the
Morning.
bassist.
We are aware.
The bassist. She's 19, the drummer's 22, and the lead singer's 25, I think. I think there's 3 years between each of them. They all look the same, but like in terms of age, but I think they all look the same age to me.
Well, when they're that young.
They're very young, but they're also very talented.
We've made the joke that she's younger than certain children that we have, and man, our kids are lazy.
Yep. I remember watching the Olympics one year with my kids and just being like, look, see that girl there doing the pole vault? She's younger than both of you. The hell's going on? Aren't you out doing the pole vault? Look at her. So my kids didn't like that suggestion.
Our kids are slackers. They're not doing anything like that.
Yeah.
What are your recommendations for watching for a new hockey fan who is looking for a team to cheer for?
Well, it depends on what you're looking for. If you want a team that is enjoyable to watch and is a contender at the same time, I mean, the defending champs out of Florida play a very exciting game of hockey. The Avs are a lot of fun to watch too if you're an Avs fan, and of course Dallas. I'm obviously a little bit of bias there, but I would put Dallas in that category. If you want to watch a rebuilding team that could have a fun season this year with youngsters, you're looking at Anaheim and San Jose. Chicago, honorable mention. Most of their top prospects are in Rockford or lower down at this point because they brought in a bunch of veterans this offseason. And then if you're looking for a team that's building up and maybe about to become a contender, I would say Nashville would be in that category. And I would put in the East, I would put Detroit in that category as well. And if you like sound bites from a coach, Philadelphia, because you got Tortorella there.
I knew you were going to say
and I think there's going to be some good quotes from Travis Green with Ottawa this year too.
I always picked the team to cheer for based on how cool the goalie's helmet was. So there's that.
Well, in that case, you cheer for the Rangers because Jonathan Quick's there and his masks are always fantastic.
Does always most of his jerseys are really masks are really fun.
Yep.
Or you can go based on the colors or the logo or where the team is based.
So if you're going based on the logo,
players,
it's going to be the Devils or the Wild if you're going based on the logo. Or if you want a traditional logo that just stays the same, you go with the Flyers.
The Wild logo is awesome. But, don't pick the Leafs unless you want to be miserable every April.
There's definitely something to be said for if you don't like yourself very much.
Basically, don't become a Canucks fan.
I have watched multiple sports now where teams I root for just don't make it. Like right now, the San Diego Padres an exciting time for the Padres. And yet in the back of my mind, I'm like, they're just going to screw it up. So we'll see how that goes.
If you want to watch a factory of sadness, watch Columbus. See, there's so many recommendations of what team you can watch. But really, there's a ton of ways you can pick which team you want to cheer for.
Like if you want tradition and a team that's building up, Montreal's
you don't have to limit it to one team either. No. It makes it a lot more fun to watch hockey if you have more than one team that you really enjoy watching. I think so anyways. Have you played NHL 25?
No, I don't have a PS5. I'm not spending $600 on a system. That's it. I look at the price and I go, no. There is nothing that could justify me spending that amount of money on a game system that I have a PS4 in here I haven't turned on in months. So I can't justify the cost.
Abby Canucks looks stacked this year.
Yep. It's going to be a fun year. It's going to be a fun year in Abby this year. Great
goaltending.
Many
of them played for
good
Vancouver
defense
last year.
Yep, good defense. Phil DiGiuseppe's back down now.
I saw
He's
that.
going to be with him this year. Sadly, no Sheldon Dries, but they'll figure it
out. What do you think is going to happen with the Tampa situation? Are any games getting canceled or postponed?
If they're not going to cancel or just delay the game between Boston and Florida to a different date, I will say no, unless local government says, look, you can't have this game here. I think they're going to try to play them.
If you want to watch good-looking guys, then watch the Canucks. Prince Charming with 40 goals.
Weren't they? There was actually a ranking on the best-looking to the worst-looking teams, and I think the Canucks were.
That's so weird.
The Canucks were at the top. I think the Leafs were near the bottom.
It's weird. It's weird.
I have no opinion on the matter because
I really don't either.
I very often will turn to her and say, "Is that a good-looking guy?" On shows we're watching, where I'm like, "Women are fighting over this. Is he even good-looking?" Because I don't know.
I'm not generally a fan of men, so I'm not a good person to ask. I need to ask somebody that's like a girlier girl or something.
I don't know that I know any of those.
More girly girl? Neither do I.
Any of the women I talk to are not generally the girly girl variety.
No, all women that I'm friends with also don't like men. So not
the women that I talk to are normally of the variety that they're showing off the latest tattoo they got. They're single and happy about it, or they're just, kind of rough around the edges. Not really the girly girl type.
Sure enough.
And if I ask them, is this guy good looking? The answer I get back would probably be, who cares? Why are you messaging me that? I don't care. Ask your wife. And then when I say, well, my wife doesn't care, they'd be like, well, why should I care?
Adam is back with 3 days grace. I know. Isn't that awesome? I'm really
That's going to be weird.
I can't wait to see what they've done. That's awesome. Gabriel, our middle son, is super duper excited, and we hope that
I never thought that happened. I never thought that had happened. It was so ugly the way he left the band. I really never thought that would happen. But Adam went solo, and it did not work out that well for him. I heard a couple of songs from Adam as a solo artist, and they were So makes sense you go back to the band.
You two should go on a family trip to Finland. Oh my gosh. Watch NHL games this autumn.
Oh man.
Man, that'd be expensive.
And we'd have like a month to plan it. So that means that the airfare would be through the roof.
And kids would miss school and
we
don't have Finland money.
Airfare gets really pricey if you're not looking at, like, say, I don't know, 6 months out is usually when we start buying tickets.
Oh yeah.
Get your flights early, boys and girls, because they are really pricey if you try to get tickets within a month of a flight.
Okay, that's not how we refer to women, and if you refer to yourself as an alpha, no, Shannon's not an alpha. He's not an ass. So there you go. How does Utah do with Bedard today?
Utah's got some good defense. They do, and I honestly think that since it's a home opener, they're going to have a lot of energy. I would expect Utah to have a really good game today. There might be some nerves that first 5 minutes, but once they get into playing their game, I like the squad. And this is one of the reasons why I was sad for Coyotes fans, because this was the year the Coyotes I thought were actually going to be pretty good. Maybe not playoff good, but still pretty good. And I think they should beat Chicago today.
Do you guys like KFC?
Not really. I used to when I was a kid. But then I found Brownie's chicken, and Brownie's chicken was better than KFC.
Mary Brown's is good.
Mary Brown's is excellent.
Good.
Church's is good.
Popeyes isn't too bad.
Popeyes can be okay.
KFC is nasty.
I've had some kind of chewy chicken from Popeyes lately. Though.
KFC is always chewy chicken.
You know when meat tastes like it's been microwaved? Yeah, sometimes that happens with the chicken. I'm like, this is really chewy and kind of rubbery at the same time. So I'm just gonna put this back in the bag and forget I ordered it.
Please don't fly Spirit Airlines ripoff. We used to fly Spirit.
We used to do Spirit, but the price went through the roof.
They changed the price of everything, and we found
no
it
bags
ends
were
up being
included
more
anymore.
expensive most of the time.
We usually fly Alaska.
Yeah.
Alaska's been a good airline and reasonably well priced. We only flew Southwest the one time, and they had the go get your seats, nothing's labeled, and that was bonkers. That was insane. I will not do that again. And then Southwest came out, oh, we're not going to do that anymore. I wonder why. Probably fights, like my seat.
I'll go to the back of the line and make somebody else sit with my kids.
It's just,
problem solved.
Those last people coming out of the plane, like, you got to just pick a seat wherever it is. And yeah, you might not be sitting with your family. It's just
some people consider that a bonus.
Imagine if you had a toddler and you can't sit with them. Then you got to like haggle with somebody to get their seat.
All right, here's their snacks.
I just don't. Anyways.
Thank you for making him wear matching hats.
You did. Early on in our relationship.
I wouldn't call it making, but
early on, because I used to wear a team's hat and then a team's jersey, and they almost never matched. I used to like to do that out in public because it would break people. It would break people.
He would intentionally not
I'd wear a Montreal hat and a Toronto jersey, a Flames all hat and a Canucks jersey.
And then going out in public, and then people would say stuff and ask him if he was confused.
Boston hat, Canucks jersey, and Dallas Stars pants. Bring it on. Let's do it.
Igor turned down 11 million by 8. That is insane.
Like I said earlier in the live stream, maybe there's something else to it. Maybe it's not just the straight money. Maybe you wanted no movement clause. Maybe you wanted extra bonus money because not all contracts are structured the same. So we'll see what he ends up getting.
Turned into a chicken chat. Yeah, I'm not eating hate chicken. Nah.
And we have a cat that can eat chicken because it makes her sick. So bothers her ear and she feels like crap. So
used to do Jets hat, Oilers shirt, Predators lanyard once in a while.
I love mixing up teams, but
off.
she got on me with that. With like, no, you can't wear that for. Don't
you
wear that
like
for
a
video.
Goober.
Don't do that.
Let's see. Hi guys from West Yorkshire. Pray my Oilers get off to a better start this year.
Oh, they're going to get off to a better start this year than last year. You can't. That start last year was a disaster. First goal for the Blues this season. I want to think of somebody different here. Because Kyrou and Thomas seem too predictable. Saad. I'll say Brandon Saad gets the first goal for St. Louis this season.
Oh, I'm drinking a lavender London fog today. This morning. How's that?
Why is it London fog? Why isn't there like St. John's fog? Since St. John's is like the fog capital of the world.
Because then my tea would have to be cold. And this is a hot tea.
Why would it have to be cold?
Because St. John's.
London's not all that warm either.
It's warmer.
I'd like to apologize to people from Newfoundland.
They'll agree with me. It's cold.
That she thinks that St. John's is inferior to London. That's what you just said. I have family back there. I'd like to apologize.
St. John's is cold and boring. There you go.
It's not boring. Any city you can go, I think I'll go down to the ocean and watch icebergs go by. That's cold. Not boring.
I think that would be amazing.
Well, the icebergs aren't from St. John's. But they go by St. John's.
I don't think it matters where they originated.
Sure it does.
They are there now.
We could have icebergs here, but we don't because they don't flow
too warm?
That way. No.
Too warm. Sending love from Czech Republic.
Thank you.
Everywhere is inferior to London. What? Yvonne's hate for the Flames has no bounds.
Well,
Really?
better you than me, because I've been told I
She
hate the Flames
avoids
for
every
years.
Flames question? I didn't know I hated the Flames. Thank you for letting me know. I wasn't aware. I'm really glad I have people that are able to tell me what teams
At least you hate the Flames this time, and not
Otherwise,
me.
I wouldn't know. Oh my goodness. In my gym class today, I played floor hockey and got a hat trick. However, no one had any hats to throw but me. Your thoughts?
We never throw hats at the meetup.
Shannon, absolutely. If he gets a hat trick, he will throw his hat and then pick it back up.
I just didn't have any
He's done
hat
it.
tricks this year.
He's done it. So, yeah, it doesn't matter if you're the only one, throw your hat. It's all that matters. What's up with Friedman?
I have no idea what's going on with Friedman. If they mean Elliot Friedman, if you mean the defenseman with the Canucks, he's like the number 7 or 8 guy, I would think, in Vancouver.
Bun causing trouble over there.
Didn't see him on waivers. What is she doing?
Just flinging stuff around. She's making a mess. I'll get to sweep later.
Is something where it's not supposed to be? Oh, she's trying to get treats out of that hay block.
Oh.
She's trying, yeah. So you get these these little round hay blocks.
Like
and so there's like little treats in it. So Cinnabon picks it up and flings it because the treats fall out, and then she just ignores the hay part. She's like a little kid with cereal that's got like the little marshmallows. She's trying to pick out all the marshmallows so she can throw away the cereal.
But she has to work for it. So
yeah,
hats are too damn expensive to throw away.
Hats are ridiculous.
Agreed.
Yeah, they're absolutely ridiculous.
Yvonne is drinking haterade. Yeah, apparently all these teams I hate.
Man. What is it with you with the Flames?
I actually really like the Flames.
So. No, you don't. You hate them.
Well, not really. But I do.
See?
I don't mind the Flames. I
your
like
lies have been exposed.
So
that's it.
I don't mind them. There aren't any teams that I hate. I don't have that much feeling for any team that
I don't hate any teams anymore either. I miss that hate. I do.
Can you both wear Canucks once? We do when we go to games. We both wear Canucks a lot.
Yes.
Which is why we frequently don't during live streams.
What?
I very rarely wear Canucks during live streams.
You don't need me to carry you.
Because I wear Canucks a lot.
You don't. Sweetie.
Outside of here.
You don't need me to carry you.
So that's
you
why.
Don't.
No, my husband has enough hats for everyone. Do you know what these cubicles are here, and they go all along this wall? They're all hats.
Arizona/Utah.
They're all of
these. Anaheim.
There's a wall.
Buffalo.
We have a wall of hats.
Calgary.
And they're only hockey hats.
See how much I hate the Flames? The Calgary one's overflowing with hats.
Those are all hats. How ridiculous is that? Oh my gosh, the hats are alphabetical. Of course they are.
Yeah.
Have you met Shannon?
Yeah. It's Anaheim through Colorado here, Columbus through Montreal there, Nashville through San Jose, and then Seattle through Winnipeg.
Shannon makes everything alphabetical. He has his magnets alphabetical. Yep. The jerseys alphabetical.
I know.
Of course. Shannon, you're weird.
Thing.
Right?
You poor thing. Who's a poor
My
kitty?
OCD would love that room.
Poor kitty.
You got any new era hats yet?
Not the ones that they've made this year. I have new era hats from when they made them before. I'm glad they're making them again. The designs I've seen so far have not been like awesome designs, but it's still early in the contract, so got my fingers crossed on that one.
Do you have any hockey jerseys for your pets?
You want to try putting a jersey on a cat? It's not going to go well. It's going to go quite badly. You're ridiculous, cat. This is all you want all day.
Shannon needs to start collecting goal equipment. Oh my gosh, that would take up so much space.
And cost so much money.
Pass on that. Yeah, and that would be expensive. Can you imagine if Shannon didn't have these all like organized specifically, though? That would make it really hard for him to find the things that he wanted. When doing a video, it would take him so much longer to do everything.
Agreed.
Thanks for all the videos. I need to catch up on when internet works better. First day with power back at the house in Asheville, North Carolina. Still waiting on water to come back.
All the best to
Goodness.
you. I know you guys are having a hard time right now. Hopefully Milton completely misses that area, goes right back out to sea. It's a tough time right now for a lot of people on the East Coast.
Yvonne, why are the Wild games so damn boring? I know, right?
They're not as boring as they used to be.
That is true.
You're watching a Wild game and then all of a sudden stuff happens because
Oh.
Kirill's on the ice. You're like, hey, the game got exciting. Oh, Kaprizov's on the ice. Got it.
Last season, it wasn't the whole season that they were entertaining, though. It was like half the season where you'd watch the game and it would be halfway through the first period and you'd realize, oh, it's one of these games again. So they still can play super duper boring.
Okay.
And it's lame. But every once in a while, they have a really fun, entertaining game. And if they could do that more often, that would be fantastic. Michkov score first game. Goals, points total for the season.
I think Michkov can get to, I'll say 30 goals, about 65 points. He is the favorite to win the Calder Trophy this year, and I think he could easily end up with way more than 60 points. But I'd ballpark it there for his first year. He could absolutely score in their first game as well. It does feel like with star players, they often score early in their career and often. So Michkov should follow that trend as well.
Do you take pictures of all your boards before you erase them? I feel like it'd make a neat collage.
I've thought about doing that, but I haven't. I was going to do that for like members and patrons at one point.
That'd be pretty easy to do since you have videos. Just do a still shot.
Yeah.
Do you think the Kraken can beat the Blues today?
They can. They can. Home openers, teams usually have a lot of energy for that home start. You've got a pretty full crowd usually for that home opener as well. I don't see any reason why we shouldn't see some really strong numbers and a great effort from Seattle today.
Are you going to get the new kind of Capitals jersey when they come out on Thursday, or are they too similar to the retros?
Oh, the updated version of the reverse retro. I don't think I'm going to bother with that. Like Minnesota, they now have the third, which is based on the second reverse retro. It's just got a shoulder patch on it that the other one doesn't have, so I never bothered getting that.
I missed a super chat.
So okay, unless there's something major that's changed, nah.
Abby Canucks are going to be good this year.
They should be.
That'll be fun. Oh, Shannon, my Flames face you tomorrow. Please go easy on us. We got no Sharky.
The pressure is all on Vancouver for that game, so we'll see how that goes. The Flames have absolutely zero pressure, and Honzek had a really good preseason, so maybe he gets goal. If they can jump on the Canucks early, again, it's the home opener. You just never know.
Do your Cats cheer for the same teams you do? Also, do you think Green Bay or Milwaukee could be considered for expansion? Love all the content.
Milwaukee could absolutely be considered for expansion. I don't know that that's necessarily going to happen. You have to have a billionaire with deep pockets to make that work. You absolutely have to have a billionaire with deep pockets for that. Cats cheering for the same teams. There's been speculation that Bear likes the Ducks. I think that was the one that was decided that Bear liked.
Decided that. I don't remember why or anything like that. Just
nope. There's certain teams that I guess Cats could cheer for. Shadow would probably be a Bruins fan.
Okay, I thought it was Predators, but okay.
Could be Nashville.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Just, he tends to be a bit of a shift disturber, and
that is very true.
Kind of smacks all the other Cats all the time, so I could throw a Bruins jersey on him and probably look about right.
Cats are Panthers fans.
Should be. Have to say I'm more than a bit nervous about Igor wanting the Rangers to break the bank when it comes to next contract. Who do I like who made the team out of camp? I'm surprised Cooley got sent down, but again, this is all about maximizing your cap. So I don't think Othman's going to stay down that long either. I'm honestly surprised Othman wasn't on the opening night roster. Look for him to end up playing a pretty prominent role with this team as the season goes along.
Honestly, I'm shocked that Milwaukee doesn't already have an NHL team. How did Nashville and Arizona end up getting a team before Milwaukee?
Money. Being willing to pay the expansion fee and having an owner that's got deep pockets definitely helps.
It's not like the NHL just decides, hey, where should we put a team? There has to be somebody wanting to pay the exorbitant amount of money.
Yep.
And an arena. They have to have all of the things lined up to have a team.
And right now, the asking price for an expansion team is really high. So we'll see if that price comes down. But at $1 billion that they want, $1 billion US, it could be tough.
Yeah, like Shannon says over and over, it's the billionaires will make a team.
Yep. You have to have the money, and you have to have that local corporate money. When you go to an NHL game, those executive boxes, that's where the real money's coming from. I even just sort of like I want to look at this. Look at like the private boxes, even just here in Abbotsford, they're pricey. That is a pricey evening. Even if you're splitting that amongst, say, like 10 people, it's a pricey evening. So that's where a lot of that money comes from, and yeah, it does make it difficult for small markets to compete with that.
How's the weather been? Has it rained recently?
It's pouring today.
Yep.
It was
Today's a rainy
great
day.
Yesterday. Yesterday was a really nice day.
So I did all the yard work.
Yeah. Today's kind of a mess.
Very wet outside. How long until they run Dubas out of Pittsburgh?
Pittsburgh would have to miss the playoffs, I would say, for 2 more seasons. And in order for the general manager to be under heat, to be under the heat for that, he would have to continue to double down on this idea they're going to be a playoff team. And then you'd have to be in a situation too where management above him decides that it's his fault the team isn't doing what it's supposed to do. I don't think Dubas is under any pressure now, but he doesn't. It kind of feels like the team needs to acknowledge a rebuild soon, and that could very well change things at the top in Pittsburgh.
I can't afford to go to games.
Me neither.
Agreed. Neither can we.
No. The Vancouver Canucks ticket prices this year are just too high. I can't do it.
We will see Abbotsford games, though. So if you can't go to NHL games, see if you have smaller teams locally. They're really fun games. We love. I love going to the Abbotsford games.
Abbotsford games should be all sellouts this year because I'm obviously not going to be the only one that got priced out of buying Vancouver tickets. So I think it's going to help attendance in Abbotsford.
Can you please wish my friend Steve in Nova Scotia? I'm going to guess Nova Scotia. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Steve in Nova Scotia.
There aren't any states that are NS, are there? I don't think so.
New Hampshire?
Do you
North
have
Hampshire?
The new Ducks and Kings jerseys yet? If so, what do you think of them?
I don't have either. I should be getting those jerseys.
See the Ducks jersey though
soon enough. The Fanatics jerseys I would have thought would have been available already. I know there's been some delays. I really like the Ducks jersey. I'm actually really excited about the road jersey. I think the white one I'm going to like more than the orange one because the orange shoulders look great and everything. The Kings, I think they're nice. The stripes are a little bit wide on the bottom, but that's a minor quibble. And I think the Kings jerseys are going to sell really, really well. That design sold really well in the late 80s, early 90s.
Oh, somebody's on their way to the Kraken game. We'll have fun.
At 12:40? Because the game starts at 1:30.
Really,
cutting it
really,
close.
Really pushing it. Traffic down there is crap.
Yep.
Got to find your parking.
Roads don't make any sense.
I hope you're not the one driving. I hope you're taking the bus, and that's why you're on your phone.
Don't get stuck in one of those one-way hells that you get into in that city.
Driving down there,
it's
that
like,
just reminds.
Wait, I need to get back there. Oh, good. All these one-way roads are going in the opposite direction. That'll help.
Driving in Seattle. Nightmares about driving in Seattle.
It's just awful.
I don't know. Oh my gosh.
It even throws off
It's awful.
Google Maps.
It is awful.
Google Maps is kind of like, turn right here. We can't. It's one way left. I can't.
Do a U-turn. Holy crap, on this 7-lane road? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Oh, please.
Pull the emergency brake as hard as you can. Go and get 120 kilometers an hour.
Driving in Seattle. Why is a game starting so early?
Because they're doing a triple header. So this is a triple header. So this game's first, then Boston, Florida, and then Chicago, Utah's on at 7. So the review for the first game will be during the first intermission of Boston and Florida. And then I should have time to review Boston, Florida before Chicago, Utah gets started. But
I think
We'll
it's
see.
crazy. A daytime game in the middle of the week. I think that's crazy.
Because ESPN sells that
I
triple header
know,
hard. They love that triple header.
But
That's their favorite thing.
Who is able to go?
Triple header.
I mean, good for the TV station. It doesn't make sense. So screwy. Doesn't make sense. I don't get it. Baseball is on right now too. I think isn't baseball always on?
What I saw, the only baseball that I saw that was on was a recap of one of the other games. I didn't see any that are on currently.
It's
but
always
it could be
baseball
wrong.
time.
Yeah, see, that's the 30 and 30 of Detroit and Cleveland.
ESPN cares about money, not sport. But wouldn't that hurt the team because the arena would have trouble getting tickets sold, especially those boxes? I mean, I guess those rich people can take the day off work, right?
Yep.
I don't understand.
The Dodgers are playing the Padres at 6:00 if you want to watch that one. Excuse me, with me. I'll put Sportsnet Plus on the computer and you can watch the baseball game with me.
I don't want to watch a baseball game.
Be good, because the Padres are going to disappoint me. I just want to witness it.
Shannon does not need to grow out a beard.
No.
He would look like Santa.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not a pretty picture.
And then I'd have to sing Here Comes Santa Claus all the time, and I don't think he would like it.
I think I'd look more like I think I'd look more like Gimli from Lord of the Rings. I think that's more what I'd end up looking like.
Oh, that's funny. That's true, but
and then I need to find somebody to toss me.
I think a beard would really, really age Shannon. I think
it
would
does.
Make him look
it does
so much older than
I grew a beard.
And then
I grew a goatee.
Thinking I was his daughter or something.
10 years ago, I think I grew a goatee. And on my day off, actually, I was on vacation and I went into work to talk to a friend of mine. And this other woman just comes over and goes, "Wow, that makes you look so old." And she walked away and I was like, "So I'm shaving this off when I get home." My friend even was like, "Well, that was kind of rude." And I'm like, "Kind of."
I mean, people are just fine with sharing it.
Like, all right, well, shaving that off, never growing it again.
How old are you, Shannon? He's super old.
I'm in the 50s range.
He would look like a biker with a beard. I don't see Gimli. Totally weird.
Very, very
I see
Gimli.
Shannon and his Hagrid with the beard. Hagrid's really tall, though.
Hagrid's a big dude. Bon, what are you doing, sweetie? I hear her. I don't know what she's digging at. Not you.
Did you speak to an animal?
I activated Bear again.
Did I hear you talking to animals?
See, and she stops. Rabbits are funny because they won't acknowledge that there's rules. They just completely no-sell them. But when they're doing something they're not supposed to do and you say their name, they stop. And when I go over and I see her, she'll actually leave that area, so I can't see what she's actually trying to do.
Playoff beard for the Canucks?
No.
People ask every year, too.
No, I don't do playoff beards.
1950s range. Oh, man. You look 25, Shannon. Do you know how
don't look 25.
Old our kids are?
But, well, my son's 24, so
I know.
There's that.
Right, so you can't look 25.
No. What are you doing, Rabbit? Cinnabon.
You don't look a day over 48. Good, clean living. There you go. See, that's a compliment. There you go.
He's actually, compliment?
Yeah, it's a tiny bit younger than what you are.
Bye.
THG is a handsome fella, right?
I don't know if I go that far.
He is. Shannon's a good-looking man.
I don't know that I go that far. Here, this is what I'm giving her. There she is. I knew you'd come over.
Have you guys ever seen Shoresy? Shannon loves Shoresy.
I watched the first season like 4 times. I've watched the second season twice. I'll probably watch the second season again. It is one of my favorite shows.
He talks about it on the other channel. He's done.
I've talked about it on both.
Yeah. Right. But I mean, you've done videos on the other channel.
I reviewed the seasons on this channel.
Oh, okay.
Because it's still hockey.
Are you going to any Canucks games this year?
Not Vancouver. Abbotsford, yes.
Abbotsford.
Yeah, another one, bye.
We are season ticket holders for Abbotsford.
So when I don't go, she takes 2 kids with her.
Isn't the 3rd season out? Meow.
Oh yeah, that was the 3rd season. I'm thinking about the 4th season. I've watched it through about a few times. I love the show. I think the show's great.
Hey,
no fighting. No.
There.
Stop.
Oh my goodness.
Stop. Stop. You're not fighting your brother. Stop it.
My humans.
Stop it.
Why? There's a cat treat on the floor. Animals. Yvonne won't go to Flames games. I won't? Oh.
You go to Wranglers games, though.
I do.
We haven't gone to a Calgary Flames game because they're too bloody expensive and they're almost always on weekends.
If it's against a Canadian team, it's really pricey. I have been to Jets game a couple years ago, and it was awesome. It was so much fun. But other than that, it's really hard to go to a game against any other Canadian team.
See,
unless,
but you
like Ottawa.
Be honest though. Affordable. Have you ever gone to Calgary to watch a Flames game?
I've never been to Calgary to watch hockey at all.
Because you hate them. That's what it is. It's hate. Sorry, guys. I've even offered. I've been like, let's go to the Calgary games. And she's like, no, I am not going to Calgary. You go to Calgary.
I would not want to drive to Calgary to watch a hockey game either.
There you go.
That would be an awful drive. It is not a fun drive.
Case closed.
Not a fun drive.
Case closed.
Have you guys seen that show, Highway to Hell? That would be the road I would have to drive. So.
Well, you can go on Highway 1 and a 97. You could do 97 there. And then you go through like Revelstoke and all the crazy
Boston Bar
cliff areas. And
go through Hell's Gate.
I
could go through Hell's Gate.
There's
instead.
A lot of really scary roads between here and Alberta.
So pretty, though.
It gets... it's pretty. But it's
there's a reason there's a show.
Scary.
But it is beautiful. But I hate doing that drive in the winter.
Yeah.
So
it's not a fun one.
Oh, you guys are funny.
Now I got to get you more Flames jerseys.
I have Flames jerseys.
Yeah, you got at least 3.
Because I do like the Flames jerseys. I like.
They're very nice.
I like them. They're nice.
Generally, their designs are pretty.
Are you talking about the Coke? Yes, the Coca-Cola is what Hell's Highway to Hell. The show Highway to Hell is about.
Yeah, Coca-Cola in the winter is it's different.
Treacherous.
It's different,
to say the least.
But if you go on 97, you hook up with Highway 1, and it doesn't really matter which way you're going east. It's
terrifying.
It's tough.
In the winter, it's terrifying. That's the only. Yeah, they don't make shows on roads that are.
The New York Jets fired their coach already. They're supposed to fire their coach at the end of the season, not midway through.
Do you think Dolan is going to win Norris Trophy ever?
I think he can. I don't know if he's going to win it. I don't think he'll win it this season, but he is one of the best young defensemen in the game. So he at some point probably wins one. Come here.
How many kids do you have? Too many.
Say hi.
I do tell my kids that we have too many kids.
And every now and then we say we don't think we're going to have kids.
We do.
We shouldn't have kids.
I shouldn't have kids. They're obnoxious.
Hey, bun.
Mom! We have 3 kids living at home, and Shannon has a son from a previous relationship that moved out years ago because he's 24.
It's a bun.
Do rabbits count as kids?
Well,
in that case, we have a gajillion.
How are you? Hi. Hi, sweetie.
Okay. Which game do you think is going to be the highest scoring today?
The highest scoring one today? I'll say Chicago, Utah. I'll say that one ends up being kind of a fun, high-scoring game. Yeah, she's like, no, I'm going for
I didn't want up. I wanted food. I booped you for food. Which Utah jersey will you buy first?
Yes. The plan is I'm going to end up getting both. That's the plan. The person I normally get the jerseys through does not have said jerseys yet. So that's the plan.
There,
knock it off. Knock it off.
What in the world?
There. Nope. Knock it off. You don't get to beat up your brother. See, and then she'll run from Azrael. She doesn't make any sense at all. Shadow, come
How
here.
many cats and rabbits do you have
here.
now? I
Come here.
lost track.
Now.
We have 5 and 5. 5
Come here.
cats, 5 rabbits.
Deep poof right now, young lady.
Look at her. She's just like rubbing everything, just like dee dee dee.
Yeah, but all of her fur was
That's
poofed
such a
out.
good kitty.
All right, fine. Dear Lord,
Oh,
cat.
she got what she wanted.
What is your problem? Oh, now you're such a sweet kitty. I just watched you attacking your brother and jumping on his head.
Somebody wants to know what player you have on your back.
This is my Quinn Hughes jersey. Okay,
Bear can be fighty.
With her brother. She goes through these things lately where she just decides she's had enough of Shadow being in here.
Oh my gosh, I did the Coca-Cola drive in winter 2 years ago without snow tires. Why would you do that? Like, I've drove the Coca-Cola in the winter because my ex's family, we had to drive on the Coca-Cola, and my ex wouldn't drive it because he thought I was the much safer driver, which was definitely true. And with snow tires, that drive is terrifying.
I went up to Edmonton.
I drove so slow.
Went up to Edmonton in 2011 for the Rammstein concert, and that was early May. And even then, when you're going through the Coke, it is not fun.
It's like till June. It's awful.
Yeah. But once you got up to the top, like there was a lot of snow. I was like, okay.
And there is just there's down the mountain.
Yep.
If I spin out, I'm going down the mountain.
Yep. I couldn't.
It's like a long ways.
That was one of those things where it was a bus trip, and normally people sleep on that bus trip. I was terrified. I couldn't sleep the whole trip. And it's two things. First off, you look out the window and it's just darkness and cliffs. And then you look straight ahead and it's all 18-wheelers. But because the highway's so narrow, it looks like they're right at you.
Yeah, it's like one lane.
So I that was terrifying. I don't know how anybody slept with that, because I was awake the whole way there. And by the time it was not scary, it was morning. So I was like, hey, well, no point me trying to sleep now.
Yeah. So if you want to see the type of region that we live in, watch Highway to Hell. It's beautiful. We live in a very, very beautiful area. What's Shannon's favorite alcoholic beverage? We very, very, very rarely drink alcohol. Very rarely.
Probably just Bailey's.
Super rare.
Bailey's. And what do you make with Bailey's in it? There's that one drink I really like that has Bailey's in it. Oh, the
White Russian? Isn't that the one you like?
White Russians are okay. I used to have Dr. Pepper. Was a drink that I would have at the bar, and it's a beer, and then they drop, I think it's 2 shots into it, and it tastes just like Dr. Pepper. But you have to drink it like a shot.
Shannon doesn't drink LOL. I'm not sure why that's funny.
I don't.
Right.
And the last time I had a Dr. Pepper, I think I was in my 20s. I have not been drunk in over 20 years.
Beer is nasty.
Beer's gross. Ugh. That's the weird thing with the Dr. Pepper. So it's gross. A beer, but it tastes like Dr. Pepper. So you just slam it back.
Coffee with a splash of Bailey's. I don't know. Pass. I'll just pass on all of that. Beer is disgusting.
Beer's gross.
So
gross.
I
don't like beer. Never liked beer.
No.
The only one I could stomach was the dark beer, and so they stopped making it. If I like something, it goes away.
You guys are just... I really don't know alcohol. I really don't drink. I don't know what things are. No. I really don't, because I don't.
When was the last time we even went to a bar? I don't think we've ever actually gone to a bar.
I don't think
we've been to a couple of clubs. Right. But like just a bar. I don't think we've ever done that.
Why would we go to a bar though? It's really loud and people-y, and it's loud. I don't like loud.
Drinking does not appeal to me.
Rather
Never
stay
has.
at home.
Yeah.
Will you cover the BCHL showcase in Abbotsford?
So some of that's isn't some of that already done too? It's gonna be tricky, because at this point now, the NHL keeps me really, really busy. I'll do my best. I will do my best.
78 days and no alcohol. Good for you. That's awesome. I know a lot of people that have trouble with alcohol, and I know that can take a lot. So good job. Really.
Yeah. Kudos. Seriously.
Yeah. No. How will you two celebrate if the Canucks win the Stanley Cup?
Well,
You're funny.
It'll be interesting because by then I'll be living on the moon. And in my transition to living on the moon, that would actually be kind of nice to be able to watch some Canucks games. I'm not sure how I'll live to be 165, but we'll get there. And in 2146, when that happens, I'm going to be so happy. I'm going to be so happy in 2146. I genuinely don't believe the Canucks are going to win the Stanley Cup in my lifetime. They haven't proven me wrong yet. I would be very happy to be proven wrong, but if they win, I don't even know how I would react. I have no idea.
Another person 3 months sober. Good job.
It's not easy.
Takes a lot.
It's not easy.
Yep.
Can you imagine if it was Vancouver and Toronto in the final? Steve and I could have a lot of fun with that. That would be one time where Steve and I...
Can you imagine just any two Canadian teams? That would be insane. But yeah, that would never happen.
If there was a Toronto-Vancouver final, that's where some serious crossover takes place. Because it'd be too tempting not to. So it'd be like, okay, we got to work together on this. This has got, like, he could review half, I could review parts. We could go back and forth. We could do it like a Zoom call kind of thing for the review.
9 years sober on the 13th. Beer sucks. Oh, Tim Hortons picks. I do need to do. Thank you for reminding me. I need to set that so that it reminds me on my phone.
Game starts in half an hour.
I know. But see, if you miss it before the first game starts, it just limits the players to the other games, which works. To me, it makes it easier to pick somebody that's actually going to score. So I do frequently wait till after a game.
Yeah, but you won't be able to pick like Jake Neighbors.
I mean, true enough, but...
Don't you want to pick Jake Neighbors?
I don't know that I would.
Brent, if you're watching this, I'm sorry. She's supposed to support Jake Neighbors. She doesn't know.
I was not aware.
No. It's like two people that would get that reference.
Are funny. People are talking about soda now. What kind of soda they like.
Oh, did you ever? That's probably started because I'm drinking the Coca-Cola Spice.
Somebody mentioned it.
They discontinued it. It was a brand new flavor. Like, yeah, here it comes. And 6 months later, like, yeah, it's supposed to be raspberry flavored.
If Shannon did drink, it would seriously eat into his Jersey budget. Alcohol is pricey. I don't know that
I don't enjoy drinking.
Want to be married to somebody that drinks
I don't enjoy being drunk. I have never enjoyed being drunk.
No.
I don't like when my body and my mouth aren't doing what they're supposed to. And I'll say something and go, wow,
I don't like stupid. Being around people that are drinking.
No, me neither.
So there is that. Nothing against people that do drink. I don't enjoy being around people that drink, and I don't enjoy drinking myself.
I was around alcoholism a lot as a kid.
Right.
And so it made
a lot of us were in the 80s.
It made it very easy for me to say, I don't want to be like that. I don't want to do that. So, yeah.
Did you ever play fantasy hockey, or do you currently?
I used to. I played here and there. I would lose interest pretty quickly. I just didn't have the ability to focus on it and do the day-to-day stuff. I know there's a lot of people that do it, and I'm sure they enjoy it quite a bit. I've never been big on fantasy hockey.
A live stream of Steve Dangle with THG watching the finals together would be hilarious.
Yep.
That would. I think they would be very entertaining.
Yeah.
If they did a video together like that, I think that would be really entertaining.
Just imagine a review where he's doing the yelling and and I'm just, casually, and then this happened and this happened and then that happened and then there was a goal here. It was a pretty good game. And he's squealing about, can you believe this giveaway? Oh my gosh. How can he glaze that over? So like I could do the review and he could just react to it live and just start, are you kidding me? I think that would be really entertaining.
Yeah, Steve is very dramatic. That's his character though. That's his character for his channel. So
yeah.
Well, quit smoking May of 85. Quit drinking February 2010. Good for you.
Good.
Smoking is a really tough one. Neither of us have ever smoked because we grew up around lots of smoking.
Yeah.
As a lot of us did in the 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good for you. people are still talking about the Arizona history.
Arizona is
Goodness.
it's an interesting case where I'm sure the NHL buying Meruello's team away from him is one thing, but since they let him keep the history and everything, they'd have to give him more money if they wanted that. Or somebody else has to give him money to buy that off him, I would think. Because all he did was say, I'm not pursuing a new arena, I give up. But he didn't relinquish the rights that I know of, unless they're in the hands of the National Hockey League at this point. And then they could hand them back to the Winnipeg Jets.
Will Fanatics ever stop making jerseys that look poofy? They look silly.
I mean, the 3D logos can be fun, but yeah, some of the I know that the lowest level Fanatics jerseys, I mean, it's a nice fabric. They're comfortable, but I don't like the logos.
I think for those, they're for a group of people that want to wear more like t-shirt styles. Like for Malachi, our special needs son, he plays Special Olympics hockey, and those style with the sublimated logo and it's more flexible, those jerseys are perfect for him. And you don't have to be as careful or mindful of them. And so while I think they are ugly, there is a place for them. I think there's a place for them. Steve is a gem. I do not always agree with him, but I appreciate how much he cares about his team.
Yep. And honestly, like even during the regular season when the Canucks played Toronto, it would be kind of funny if him and I did a video together reviewing it.
There would be. You could text him. See, they have each other's phone numbers.
I do.
But do either of them message each other? No, because they don't do that.
I just think it's kind of
two
rude.
Boys.
It's kind of rude.
Right, and I'm sure he's the same thing. Well, I don't want to bother him. So that's how that goes.
Yeah, I've got his. I did. When did I last message? That was playoffs, I think.
It was a long time ago. Thoughts on the crazy revelation of McDavid being afraid of ketchup?
I mean, it does have the same color as blood, so there's that.
Of course, Shannon.
And it
is
ruins jerseys.
Hockey games.
It ruins jerseys.
It would.
So
has vinegar in it, so it helps set the stain. But yeah, of course, Shannon's gonna watch the games. He's got his board already, just off. Well, you can see the corner of the board right there. He is all set. He's already got it on TV, so he knows when it starts, so he can hop off of here.
Yep.
So don't you worry, he is ready.
Blues and Kraken, I'm all set.
Do you think the Sabres
built
as is will ever win the cup, or did they invest in the wrong core players long term?
The Sabres to me they're a good team. The one question mark I think with them is, do they have that superstar player that can get them over the hump once they do reach the playoffs? And fingers crossed they get there. Tage Thompson could be that guy. I really like their young goaltending. I really like their blue line as well. I think there's a lot of potential there. But I do wonder if, like, I think that's why people were excited at the idea of Patrick Kane potentially going there before he signed with Detroit, because that feels like that's a perfect fit, that a Patrick Kane type. If Jonathan Taves were ever able to play again, Buffalo might be perfect for him because of his experience. And that's something I think Buffalo needs.
I'm on the 100 South in Salt Lake City, and people are so excited. I'm sure that'll be so fun.
Of course.
That'll be a lot of fun.
It's a fun time.
How many more years until Toronto makes it to the third round?
They could do it this year. They could do it almost any year. It's just, again, I think the issue with Toronto is mental as much as it is anything else. I think they freeze up in those big games, and it's hard to change that culture and that mentality of, oh, here we go again. We saw that in the docu-series they had back in 2021. As soon as Montreal started that comeback against Toronto, the whole team just slumped. Like, oh, well, here we go again. I don't know how you fix that.
They're pretty excited. They got a sneak peek of the very first board of the season. Have you ever thought about being a network analyst?
I've thought about it, but I don't know how that would work.
Since really quickly.
Yeah, they don't generally stick around that long. And then I don't live where any of the networks are, so it would have to be remote, and
True.
I'm not moving across the country, so that's a hindrance.
Do you think the Amazon deal the Kraken have will be replicated across the league?
I think that we're going to see basically how games are watched will be changed over the next decade. I think it'll be all streaming. I think that it'll be carried on the networks as well, but I think all of the games will be streaming on major streaming platforms like Amazon, Netflix, Disney as well, right? So yeah, I think that's where we're headed. And for the teams that are jumping on that bandwagon now, they're going to be seen as pioneers.
Shannon in a suit would be weird. You mean super hot, right?
I have worn a suit in the time I've been with her. I don't have a blazer though.
I was gonna say not like a full suit. He's worn the dress pants and a dress shirt, like a button-up shirt and a tie, and he looks really nice. And I've posted pictures before. And a vest blazer with a vest over it.
Yeah,
it's really nice.
I have the vest. Qualifies as a suit.
Shannon cleans up pretty good.
3/4 of a suit. I used to dress up randomly when I was in high school. I just pick a day and I just randomly dress up, wear a suit.
I still do that. Just every once in a while I wear
just for that moment of people going,
when else am I going to wear a dress?
Because I'd get the, what
why
are you doing?
You dressed up?
I was like, I felt like it.
Yep.
So,
I miss talking hockey with my dad. Shannon, you fill a void for a lot of us, and you are really appreciated.
That is one thing that my dad and I were able to talk about was hockey. We argued a lot, but hockey, as long as my Bruins fandom didn't come up, we could have a pretty rational discussion. He never was able to wrap his brain around the fact I was a Bruins fan and he was a Montreal fan. That just never worked for him.
Don't worry, Shannon knows that soda, even when it's diet, is not healthy. But thank you for the nutritional advice. For things that we all know about. Thanks. Okay, hot take. 5 Atlantic teams finish with 92 plus points and goes to playoffs. Florida, Toronto, Boston, Tampa Bay, Detroit with Ottawa at the rear at 90 to 91 points. Best division in NHL.
The Atlantic's a wagon. The Atlantic and the Central are both very strong divisions. And I think the Central got stronger in the offseason. I think that the Atlantic, things are more balanced than what they were. So, yeah, I think the Atlantic will probably have the best record of any of the 4 divisions.
Yeah, when I was working, if someone showed up in a suit, we'd assume they were interviewing somewhere. Yep, I know soda isn't healthy. I still enjoy it regardless. LOL. Right? There's a lot of stuff that we know is not healthy, but as long as you do other healthy stuff and don't only have things that are not healthy. Right.
I do the treadmill 5 miles a day or 750 calories a day. So it balances out.
Canucks fan, who do you think we have to give to save money for Brock for next year? By the way, would you ever visit down here in Calgary?
Yes, I would love to go to Calgary. I've actually talked to Yvonne about that. Because I'd love to go to Banff, which is not that far from Calgary. In terms of Brock, I think they're going to hope that the salary cap going up, plus most of that core is already signed anyways. The tricky part may not necessarily be Brock. It might be that Brock gets his big raise, and then it's how much money are they going to need for Demko the year after? Because Demko's $5 million a year cap hit is a huge bargain. Demko's the big one. I think for Brock, I think he could probably get signed by the Canucks for, it'll be more money, but I don't think it should be a ton more necessarily. I hope they don't have to shed anybody to keep Brock.
Dingle is Canadian, but his loudness is a character.
Yeah.
That's his character that he does online.
And he's from Toronto. So that really works for him with network stuff and whatnot and just NHL stuff. Very often they're putting up they've already got their podcast recorded usually by the time I get up. So that might be part of the reason why I haven't been on their podcast. They haven't invited me. I don't think my schedule works with theirs very well.
No, they do it so early.
Yeah.
I get it. Emailed you a picture of an old Toronto jersey I have. If you can shed some light. I will check our emails later. How do you fix your bangles?
You know, I love Burrow. I think he's a really good quarterback. Cincinnati finds ways to fail. Like the Cincinnati Bengals are that team that they see the iceberg and they steer right into it. They just, and then if that doesn't do the trick, they turn around and steer into another one. I really hope the Bengals turn it around, but it's always something. There's always something that they blow up, and the problem is they don't get up for those games against teams that they really need to beat. And so now they're 1-4. I don't have any hope left for them at this point. The only team they've beaten is the Carolina Panthers.
How are the ticket prices here?
We're
not going to Vancouver games.
Vancouver tickets went through the roof, so those are gone for this year.
We were priced out.
Yeah, we were definitely priced out.
So it's a lot. How big of an impact will Michkov? How big of an impact will he make this season for Philly?
Michkov's going to give them that offense they didn't have this past season. The interesting part's going to be if Michkov has defensive setbacks. So if he gets a goal, but then he's responsible for a goal at the other end. Does Tortorella keep playing him, or is he going to bench him? Because Tortorella has benched players plenty of times for defensive mishaps. And then the ace in the hole for them might be Luchenko. Luchenko makes the team too. So that's two good young scoring forwards. And so Philadelphia might end up being better than expected, especially with Tortorella behind the bench. We saw what he could do last season with a team that should not have been that close to the playoffs.
Any chance that Shan go? I don't think I've ever called you Shan.
You're one of the few.
Nah. Goes to Survivor Series in Vancouver in November.
Nope, too expensive, and that's a busy night in the National Hockey League. So yeah, I can't go to that.
Buy groceries for a month or get NHL tickets for one game. True.
Yeah.
That is a very close comparison.
Yeah, it's five. If I want lower bowl, it's $500.
And that's not including the $40 for parking and the hour and a half driving each way.
Yep.
And yeah,
all of
the time, and it's a lot.
When concerts are cheaper than a Canucks game,
way
that's weird.
cheaper.
That's weird.
Yikes. Let's see. With MLB starting to move towards a single streaming service run by the league, could you see NHL doing something similar?
I think that's what they have on the back burner. Anytime that the Valley situation is brought up to Gary Bettman, he says they have a contingency plan, and I think that's part of what it is. I think at some point in time, we will see the NHL have their own streaming service. It's tricky to make money on that model, though, so they have some time, but we'll see.
Somebody says I might have missed some super chats, but I can't see them. If they're under $5, I can't see them. Like there's a button I have where I can see super chats, but it won't show me them if they're under $5. And so other than me searching through it, which I'm not seeing it. So
what do I think of an AHL game compared to an NHL game? AHL hockey is very good. There's solid players. The first thing you notice with AHL games is the players are usually smaller than the NHL level players, but they're fast, they're talented. It's very good hockey. And you'll see more fights, I think, in the AHL than you see in the NHL.
We really like going to Abbotsford games. I go to a large majority of them.
Yeah, it's fun. I go to the ones that I can, but it has to be a quiet night in the NHL. Many. And this year, it's fewer than last year, sadly.
Who do you think will be the biggest surprise this year? Players and or teams?
Biggest surprise from a team. I don't know if New Jersey's going to surprise that many people, but I think they're going to be good. Utah may surprise some people. I think they've got a solid roster there. Yeah. And then surprise players. Maybe Huberdeau has a big bounce back with Calgary. Maybe this is the year where it really clicks for him with the Flames because they need it. They really need that offense.
Will Abbotsford have a good team this year?
Yes. I like the depth the Canucks organization has right now. There are some good players that they waived and sent down to Abbey. I'm pretty optimistic about how good this team could be.
Yeah, they should really fix it so whoever is hosting a chat can access all super chats. Fix that, YouTube. There are definitely things that I wish that YouTube would do to make it easier on us. There are a lot of things they could do to make it easier for us. A lot.
Yes, I agree.
Especially when it comes to subscribers and people that comment and stuff.
Like
and they've taken things away from us.
There are areas where Twitch is ahead of YouTube, but I don't stream on Twitch. I don't use my Twitch account. I know you can live stream on multiple platforms at the same time. I haven't really had the desire to do that, but I know with Twitch there's more you can do. There's more ways to potentially earn and all that fun stuff. But I don't think my content would necessarily translate well to Twitch either.
My bold predictions for the season: West, Utah makes the playoffs as a wild card.
I could see that. Yep, absolutely, I could see that. I just don't know who they bump out. But that's the thing. Like, people will always say, well, who do you think's going to fall out? No. I can just say I think this team has a shot at a playoff spot. I have no idea who they're going to bump out, but they're a good enough team that they could bump somebody out of there.
How do you feel about Swayman's new contract?
It's a good contract. Honestly, I think the contract will age really, really well. He is a top goaltender. He's 25 years of age. He should only get better from here. And Boston now has their starter for hopefully the next 8 years in Swayman, which they need, because goaltending depth in that organization beyond Ullmark and Swayman, I have not been impressed with the team's goaltending depth at all.
My uncle is a huge fan and says hi. There you go.
Hello to your uncle. I think that's the Instacart.
Yeah. I asked because I'm going to take my girlfriend to a hockey game, but rather take her to Texas than Dallas. Seems more affordable and personable. Mm-hmm. What are your thoughts? She's never been to one.
AHL Definitely. Game it's quieter than an NHL game. It's a more intimate atmosphere.
We take our kids to AHL games, but we very, very rarely take them to NHL.
For somebody learning the game, it's easier to get a ticket, you get a seat closer to the ice. It's easier to follow.
There's a lot more closer to the ice seats too, and they're fun. The AHL games are fun.
Yeah, it's good hockey.
Yeah, my kids really like going to the games.
Yeah, so. I have nothing bad to say about AHL hockey. It's good. I intend this year to do at least one AHL video per season or per week. That's my plan.
Let's move fast there.
We're almost to the time where we're going to have to go anyways.
Are any of our kids Leafs fans? Yes.
Adelaide. Yeah, our daughter's a huge Leafs fan.
After Canucks, she really likes the Leafs.
Yeah,
she wears a Leafs jacket most of the time.
Although Wild Wing might have converted her to the Ducks fandom there.
That is true.
In January.
She's never been able to go to a Leafs game.
Right.
So there is that.
But she went to a Ducks game and she got a hug from Wild Wing. So now she may have a Wild Wing pennant in her room. And that might be her favorite mascot.
Too.
Along with Finn. She likes Finn a lot too.
Does really like Finn.
So, yeah.
Does she also have a Canucks jacket or other Canucks gear? Yes, because we go to Canucks games. So she does have a Canucks, like a hoodie. I made her Canucks pants, and she got a jersey at the end of the season sale. Because wearing kid sizes, she's able to. We can get them pretty cheap for her.
Yep.
Youth size stuff, so much cheaper. No Gritty as a fave. I wonder why.
Well, we haven't gone to Philadelphia.
That's true.
And if she went there wearing a Toronto jersey, you might hit her in the face with a pie. Gritty doesn't put up with any crap.
Has Adelaide ever seen the Mighty Ducks Disney cartoon from the 90s? No, she has not.
Nope.
I don't think I've had her watch any of the Mighty Ducks.
Which is probably for the best.
I don't think I've had her watch any Mighty Ducks, actually. And right now we're in Halloween movies, so we won't be watching it right now.
So I watched Phantasm with her. It was the first time she'd watched Phantasm. Watched the whole movie and doesn't make any sense.
It really doesn't. That movie was so confusing.
I have watched it and I kept saying, I don't remember it being this confusing or lame. Like some of the special
Oh my
effects
gosh, I
in
was
4K.
laughing so hard.
That horror
There's
movie
some
does not
funny
work in
parts.
4K because there's this creature thing that attacks
That
them,
was so
and
ridiculous.
it's so obviously fake in the 4K.
And they had that little monster in the coat. Oh my gosh, I was laughing so hard. Okay. Any kids
Man.
Golden Knight fans? Yes, we also
Our
have
oldest.
a Golden Knights fan.
Yeah.
Our oldest is very much a Golden Knights
Yeah.
fan. That they are by far his favorite.
So when Dallas played
Only
Vegas in the
likes to
first
watch
round,
Knights games.
I was cheering or he was cheering upstairs watching Vegas.
Yep, he really likes the Golden
So-
Knights. Other than going to Abbotsford games, which
Yeah.
he really likes that because he's met players, so he's pretty sure they're friends.
Yep.
He really likes the Golden Knights. He has a Golden Knights jersey and he wears it every once in a while. I need to make him a new jacket. He kind of wrecked his jacket.
Which jacket?
He had a Golden Knights jacket.
Oh.
But he wore it all the time. So it got
Okay.
holes in the pockets and then
Okay.
he killed the zipper.
Right. Well, he's not borrowing mine. A, it wouldn't fit him, and
would
B, I'd
not
rather
fit.
that didn't get trashed.
I
have a Golden Knights jacket
We have
too.
two man children that
Yeah.
are like a foot taller than us.
I have because I have a Vegas jacket. I got the All-Star jacket too from the Toronto All-Star game. That was on like dirt cheap sale from the NHL shop. So I was like, yeah, I could use an All-Star jacket.
Shannon does have jerseys for old teams that don't play anymore.
Yep.
And somebody
Nordiques, Whalers. I have a
she has
Barons, which was a
Maroons.
Kits. I have a maroon sweater. Not a jersey, but a sweater.
Do you see? Is that Ian?
Leon Bixell.
Okay. Play for Stars. Are the Stars all of a sudden super deep in defense? Do you remember when Jamie Benn won the Art Ross?
Jamie Benn won the Art Ross trophy with 87 points, the lowest points total that anybody had won that trophy with since, I want to say it was the 60s, since the last time somebody had that few points to win the trophy. And back in the 60s, you're looking at a 70 game schedule, then 76 and 78. So they didn't have 82 games for that. Dallas is pretty deep up front on the blue line. I'm very impressed with that team from top to bottom. Bixell will get a look at some point this season from them, but he's not needed at this point. It's great when you got good young players and they're not necessarily needed in the lineup right away. What are you shaking your head about?
You are ridiculous.
Everybody knows Jamie Benn had 87 points.
Do you remember when this happened? Oh, yeah. And there were this many points and then this many points in this year. And hey, remember that back in the 80s?
I think that was 2014, 2015.
No, I don't remember.
I think that was the 14-15 season.
Shannon has a ridiculous memory so that I don't have to remember.
Because when the channel started up, people used to get mad at me for talking about Jamie Benn as if he wasn't a great point producer. Hi, bye. How are you?
One day I hope to own a Blues trumpet kit jersey.
There he is.
Damn shame that thing was never worn by Gretzky. That was one ugly.
Did you know it's hockey time? Did you come down because it's hockey time, Bun? Hi. You just came in here.
He said, I wouldn't have come down if I knew you're going to pick me up. I just came down for food.
Hi, Bun.
He's got a huge.
Oh, careful.
Huge
he's going to bite me for you pulling that out.
He will not. Do they use blackouts in Canada or can you watch all games?
TSN. There's blackouts with the TSN games. And with the Sportsnet ones too. Yeah, we have the regional blackouts here too. Center ice gets me around that, but yeah, we have the regional blackouts. It sucks. The NHL needs to do away with it.
What are some new stickers or magnets that you plan on using this year?
Well, I got a bunch in Utah.
He just got some brand new decals.
Yeah, I've got a bunch. I don't. The one tricky thing is I don't have. So the numbers that I use, which are like the helmet numbers, I don't have Utah helmet numbers, so I'm going to have to use the Arizona ones until I get Utah ones. So that's kind of bugging me a little bit that I don't have Utah ones. But my producer hasn't secured me the Utah ones yet. So once my producer's done her job, then maybe I'll have those.
I am not the procurer of all the hockey crap.
You are the producer. Produce.
Okay. In Sweden we can see all the games for like $40 a month.
That's about what it is here. It's four payments. I think it's 35 a month
I
for
don't
4
remember.
months.
I just had to redo it.
Or you can pay in one lump sum, but yeah, that's about it. But I pay for Sportsnet Plus too, so yeah, it's pricey.
Going to the watch party at Delta Center tonight. A year ago, we were dreaming about the NHL in Utah if the Olympics returned. Now it's real. Stoked.
Good.
That has to be super exciting.
Yeah, that's great.
That would be very exciting.
That's great. I'm looking forward to watching that game tonight. That's going to be a lot of fun to watch.
Do you think the Stanley Cup playoffs, Super Bowl, and World Series will ever become pay-per-view only events?
No. Sports model's trending away from pay-per-view. Even pro wrestling, there seems to be a trend away and more towards the streaming services like AEW now is going to be on Max. There's extra money for the pay-per-views on there, but I don't think that's going to last that long. I think pay-per-views are going to go by the wayside because the real money is in sponsorships, advertising dollars, and getting as many eyeballs on your product as possible.
Thoughts on Simon Edvinsson? Let's go Red Wings.
I like Edvinsson. The one preseason game I saw him in, I thought he looked all right. He is due. He's due to be one of the top guys for them, so we'll see how it goes.
Thoughts on WWE going to Netflix?
I think it's a smart move on their part. I think it'll work for Netflix as well. If they get the back catalog, if they can get like even half of the back, even just WrestleManias, I think Netflix is gonna make some really good money on this.
It gets it more visible.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't watch wrestling, but a lot of people don't even have cable.
She watches it by proxy.
I didn't have cable until Shannon.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot of money.
It can be.
Would Brady Tkachuk in the postseason would change his popularity?
Well,
not quite sure.
Postseason games get more attention, so Brady's ability to irritate the other team's goalie especially, and get into scrums on almost every whistle, I think his popularity would grow for some, and the irritation would grow for others. But he definitely had more visibility that way.
Is Yvonne's favorite wrestler Brock Lesnar?
No.
I'm not a fan of.
I would say Naomi's
oily,
probably
greased
your favorite.
up, muscly, veiny.
I think
men.
Naomi's your favorite.
I much prefer women wrestlers.
Because Naomi comes out with the shoes that have the lights in them and her glow in the dark stuff, and she has glow in the dark hair extensions.
I don't like the.
Yeah.
I'm really not into wrestling, but nah. Do you prefer WWE or AEW as currently presented?
I've talked about that on the Entertainment Guy channel, my second channel. I am much preferring the WWE product right now. AEW, I have some serious problems with the way AEW does stuff that I don't understand. But I've talked about that on the other channel. Don't necessarily need to get into that here, but there's too many times I'm watching AEW where I'm like, well, that doesn't make any sense. So that's a problem.
Oh, another person asking about Survivor Series. There's too many games.
It's too pricey.
Expensive.
It is a really expensive ticket.
There's a lot of games on that night. A lot. I don't remember how many. I just remember there's a lot.
We have a friend here in town, and she goes to all the WWE stuff. I don't think she can go either.
Right. I thought she said she couldn't afford it too.
Yeah, it's too expensive.
In your opinion, are the Oilers doing what they need to overcome their cup loss last year? Are they focusing too much on maximizing their offensive potential?
They needed more scoring on the wings. I think they've got that. They changed up their blue line a little bit. That needed to be done as well. The only question mark I have with the Oilers is, can Skinner play well enough through 4 rounds? He was great from games 4 through 7 in every series, but they need him to be good at the start of every series. If he can get that done, yeah, I think the Oilers can avenge their loss in the final this past June and win it next June.
How many hockey games would have to be on for you to miss a Rammstein concert in Vancouver?
20. It'd have to be like 20 games.
20 NHL games.
So there has to be 40 teams
one night
in the NHL
for him
for me to say, oh, I'm going to have to miss Rammstein. Because, yeah, I'm going to miss a relatively busy night on the 15th to go see Evanescence, Hailstorm, and The Warning. And that's how it's going to work. The review's going to be late that night. That's just how that works. That was probably Amazon.
Yeah.
The Amazon truck normally comes
because we've got groceries at the door. I had
Yes.
to do my Thanksgiving grocery shopping so that I have time because I brine my turkey and I need time to be able to brine my turkey.
Yep.
And I make quite a few of the things before Thanksgiving Day, so then I'm not cooking all of the things on Thanksgiving Day. Otherwise, it's not possible. There's only one of me, and children are not that helpful.
So yeah,
you might be surprised, but teenage boys not helpful.
Bears here, shadows here. Somebody's asking about the cats. Shadows right here, bears here. But yeah, so we're gonna have to get going. The national anthem's playing in Seattle. So
favorite Thanksgiving dish?
Turkey.
I do really like turkey.
Turkey's
great.
And mashed potatoes with gravy.
That's great too.
Yes. But anyways, guys.
Except for stuffing. I don't like stuffing. I think it's gross.
If you want to see the pets on camera, again, the Entertainment Guy, we've done all kinds of videos with the rabbits, with the cats. It's all kinds of stuff. And there's the cats Instagram account. Yes. THG Cats on Instagram.
That's right.
That's all the cat stuff. So
we don't celebrate American Thanksgiving, and that's like 2 months away. So I am talking about Canadian Thanksgiving, which is on Monday.
Yes.
We don't do American Thanksgiving, just like we don't celebrate other holidays that
like
are
American Christmas
exclusively celebrated in a different country.
Our Christmas is on December 29th in Canada. So because the sun doesn't come up, it's weird. It was a problem with the calendars back with John A. McDonald, and we've just gone with it.
At the time of American Thanksgiving, things aren't growing anymore.
No, it's frozen.
There is no
tundra,
harvest to be celebrating.
As far as you can see.
Because nothing is growing. And so
all right,
we have our Thanksgiving during harvest.
So we're going to have to go because Anthem's almost done. I got to get all the board stuff going. So thanks, guys, for coming out. Hope everybody enjoys the first day of the NHL season, and we will do this again soon.